What we're going to be doing now is actually building this functionality to email all of the users where they have their setting obviously as 1. So the first thing to do is go ahead, build up this page, only allow admin access. At the moment I believe that, let's just have a look, we have Alex as an admin, so type 1. We looked at this in the user types part of the video if you haven't watched that yet, or if you want to refer back to it as a reminder. But we're going to be using the protect page and the admin protect functions in conjunction to protect this page against normal users or anyone that isn't logged in accessing it, because obviously we don't want to give that that ability to anyone. So let's go ahead and start to build up the page. We'll build up the form, we'll validate the form. Very, very simple this time. We haven't got a lot to validate because we've just got a subject and body. And then we'll go ahead and call this function to email all users and then go ahead and build that function. So not really a lot to do considering you're emailing all of your users, because we've already built most of the functionality. So let's go ahead and create a new page. I'm going to take I'm going to take a template here from admin, which is a page that we created that only admins are allowed to access. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and paste it into here just to be lazy. And I'm going to save this as mail.php. Okay, so let's go ahead and close admin. You'll see that I've got general.php and users.php open. These are two of our function files that we're going to need to add to and all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and just change this to mail. Or we'll say email all users, and we'll add our form down here in a moment. So let's go ahead and check this page out first of all. We'll log out and we'll try and access it. Brilliant. Let's try and log in as Billy and just try and access that. Okay, it's redirected us to the home page, well, the index page, which is good. We don't want to allow access. And now let's finally log in as my account, which is an administrator account, and we have this email or users page. So now that we've got the page, let's start to build the form up. So it's nothing really that you haven't seen before. We're going to submit and validate this in exactly the same way as we've already been doing. So we need an unordered list in here and some list items. The first list item is going to be the email subject, which is going to be required. And this is just going to be an input field with the type text. We're going to give this a name of subject, makes sense. And let's proceed to the text area. So this is going to be the body of the email. Again, this is going to be required. And this is going to be a text area this time, so slightly different because we want a larger area. We're also going to go ahead and give this a name as well, and we'll just call this body. And lastly, we want to go ahead and obviously include our submit button. So input, and the type here is submit, and the value here is just going to be send. So let's go ahead and refresh here. You see we've got our form. This is slightly small, so let's go ahead and open up our CSS file. And just under here, I'm going to go ahead and add a new selector for all text areas. And I'm going to give all text areas a width of 400 and let's say a height of, say, 150. Perfect, that's a big enough space, so we can go ahead and close that now. Okay, so when we send this, we need to start validating. So both are required. We're not going to bother creating a required array because we're really not going to need much more data here. You can go ahead and make it, a lot better if you want. But let's go ahead and just open up some PHP tags under the header here. And let's go ahead and start to validate this. So what we want to do is we want to say if empty $_post is equal to false. This is going to mean that the form has been submitted and we've got some data in our post array. So let's just go ahead and echo A or something and click send. A, perfect. So we obviously don't want to echo A, we want to go ahead and start checking if things are empty or not. So we need an if, and we need to say if empty $_post subject. Now if this is equal to true, we want to append to our errors array, and we'll just say subject is required. We want to do exactly the same thing here, so a bit of repetition, but it just means we don't have to use that for each loop that we've used in previous parts. So for example, in settings, we use this for each loop, really because we have more potential for more fields here. So here we're just doing 2 if statements. So we need to check the body, and if result of empty on body is true, we want to say body is required. Okay, so now what we want to do is check. They're all the checks that we're going to do. We're not going to check for minimum length or anything like that. Now we want to check if the overall errors array is empty. So if empty errors is equal to false, that means we do have errors. So we're going to use our output errors function and pass in this errors array. Otherwise, we want to send email. And we'll just go ahead and echo send, just so we know that we've hit that point. Okay, so I'm going to click send. Subject is required, body is required. I'll just type in anything here. So, want to wear PHP Academy. And I'll just say hello there, just for now. So I'm going to go ahead and click send. So if we were to just say this and no body is required. Okay, and obviously this has removed the subject, so it might be worth adding a little if statement in here to an if statement in here as well to check if that variable's set, and then if it is, echo them the contents out. I'm not going to do that for now because that's just something that you can do in your own time. Okay, so now that we know that we're validating, we need to go ahead and send this email to the user. So what do? Well, we need a function that's going to loop through users and specify a subject and a body and send out these emails to these users. So I'm going to call this function mail users. Now what am I going to pass through here? Well, I'm going to pass a subject and a body. So $_post subject and $_post body. And when we've done that, we want to relocate to a success message. We've done this before, mail.php, and then a success query at the end there. And then I'm just going to exit. So we can now go ahead and test this with our success variable at the end here. If I go ahead and type in this and hello, and I click send, we get the success at the end here. Now this is going to prompt a confirmation message. So let's go ahead and do this. If something else is going to be all of this form down to here. Now let me just explain this in a moment. I'm just going to go ahead and indent all of this here. Now the reason this is we're checking if this success query is met or it's there, and if it is, we are going to say, you know, your email's been sent. Otherwise, we're going to show the form and all of this stuff as well. So if is set $_get success, if that's equal to true, and this variable is empty, which we don't need to check, but again, probably good practice. If empty is equal to true, then I'm going to break out of PHP, back in there, and in here I'm just going to say email has been sent. So we're validating, we're giving a confirmation message. The only thing we're not doing at the moment is actually sending the email, and surprisingly that is the shortest part of it because we already have everything in place to do so. So let's go ahead and type in again something here and hello, send. Perfect. So we have the visual and the validation and all that stuff. Now we need to go ahead and actually create this mail users function. So in the next part of the tutorial, we are going to be creating this mail users function. As I said, it's going to pass in a subject, it's going to pass in a body, it's going to loop through all of the users that have that little digit, so the allow email in our database table set to 1. If they do have it set to 1, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the mail function or email function that we've already created to go ahead and send them an email.